Hello and welcome to the Tiny Human Knits podcast. My name is Laura and I'm coming to you from Fredericton, New Brunswick, Canada, where I live with my boyfriend, our cat, and our rabbit. You can find me online as Tiny Human Knits, and I will have links to all of my social media and everything else I talk about in the description box below this video. Hello and welcome, or welcome back. It is the 30th of August today, which is bonkers. It has been so delightfully chilly at night here, and it's very exciting, and on Sunday I get to put out my Halloween decorations. Halloween. I don't really decorate for Halloween specifically, but I have a lot of like spooky cross stitches and like pumpkin themed decor that I've made that I get to put out, and it's my favorite time and I love it so much and I'm so excited. But that's neither here nor there. I don't think I have anything to say at the top of the episode here. What I am wearing is my original Gartrell crew. This is a pattern by Tanis Lavely, which I adore with all of my heart. If you've been watching for a while, I've knit 3 of these so far. And I love this one. This one's still my favorite. I haven't topped it yet. And I love it so much. It's in my own colorways. And I did do kits for these last year, and I was going to do them this year, but I have no time at all. I keep making new projects for myself, dyeing up new projects for myself, and it's just, I have been keeping myself so stupidly busy this year. It's actually a bit ridiculous. But I think that's everything. I don't think I have anything else, but we will go right into finished objects, of which I have 2. One is a pair of socks, so I'll start with that one. So these I was working on last time. They are my goldenrod socks. It's a new colorway. And my new way of knitting socks, I mentioned before, I've been doing 64 stitch socks. Not for me, they're way too big for me. But I've been knitting them with 64 stitches so I can give them to more people. I've got quite a few friends and family that these would fit, so I've been knitting them with 64 just because I don't wear socks that often, so I don't need like heaps and heaps and heaps. So I do 64 stitches, 25 rounds of 2x2 rib, and then I knit 12 stripes before I put in the heel, that's just how I decide how long to do it. And then heel flap and gusset, wedge toe, and I have an amount of rows that I do for that. I think I mentioned it before, so I don't need to say it again. But yeah, it's a new colorway. It's going to be in the shop in September. I'm not entirely sure what day in September yet. It might be the 20th-ish. Depends on how fast I can do everything else. But this is going to be in with a couple project bags as well. It's not going to be a kit, so you don't have to buy the project bag as well. But I have a couple of them sewed up. I'm not done them yet. I don't know why I'm putting off putting in the drawstring, but it's these. This is a goldenrod collection of fabrics, hence the name. But that'll be in the shop, I think, either the 13th or the 20th, but it's really feeling more like it's going to be the 20th because the 13th is like in 2 weeks, and I don't know if I'm going to have that done in time. But that is my first finished object, knit on 2.25mm needles, which is my basic. Yes. And then my second finished object is the first of my children's garments. This one is the mini season sweater by Ozetta. It has been folded, so I'm just going to give it a bit of a stretch here. But this is the first one done. I think for this one, I knit the 5 to 6 year old size, and I've used a Lion brand wool ease. I have the other ones here. It's Lion brand wool ease. It's got 80% acrylic and 20% wool. It's very soft, which is nice. But yeah, I did the 5 to 6 year old size because I want it to be oversized for the recipient. They are going to be 4.5 when they get this. So it's going to be quite big, and I accidentally knit the body a little bit too long as well because I just got confused as to what size I was making. But yeah, I think it's going to be super cute, and that way it can fit her for like a few years, which is great. I used a 4.5mm needle, which is what's called for in the pattern, and I followed the directions exactly, and I had a lot of fun. This is such a nice pattern. It is so squishy because it's half fisherman's rib throughout the entire thing, except for the edges, which are a 1x1 rib. And yeah, it was really, really nice. I enjoyed it a lot. If I were going to be making an adult version of this, I'm very sure what I would end up doing is instead of joining in the round after you do the sleeve depth, I would just continue knitting the whole body flat because I find it significantly easier because if it's flat, you're knitting the wrong side rows, but if it's in the round, you have to purl them. And I don't mind purling at all, but I find it's a little neater when I do the knitting instead of the purling. So I am very much considering, because yeah, you can see where I changed that here. It didn't quite block out, but that's okay. But yeah, and I wouldn't mind having one of these. I do have a season's cardigan in my own size that I've got planned. And I'm pretty sure if I can figure it out, and I'm pretty sure I can, it's technically knit with the button band knit concurrently. You're knitting it at the same time, but you're using a different size needle to the body of the sweater. And you have to change your needle every time you knit that part of the sweater. And I'm pretty sure I'm going to try to omit the button band and then just attach a double knit button band later, like knit it on, because I'm going to get it done a lot faster if I don't have to faff with changing my needles so much, which is completely, it doesn't matter. I'm not working on that right now. As far as I know, I might start, I don't know. But yeah, this is super cute. It was super fun. It's really, really well written. So this is for the 4.5-year-old. And then, because I have now shown you that, I don't think I have to say anything else. I cannot remember the colorway of this, and I used up all of the yarn. But I can't remember. But my first work in progress is the second mini seasons cardigan that I have already started. And this is in, as I showed, this color here. It's called Canyon Sunset. Delightful. And this one is for one of the twin girls, and they're 2 years old. So I'm knitting the 3 to 4 year size just because, again, I really want them to be able to fit them for quite a while. So I have it started already, and it's amazing how much difference a colorway can make, because this one is quite a lot softer than the caramelly color. And it feels like it could be a touch thinner as well, but it's working up great. So I've finished the back panel, and I'm just to the point in the front where I'm going to be joining the two front sides, knitting a little bit, and then I can join it in the round. I'm not going to knit this one flat because I want them to be basically the same. So I'm going to just knit it as it's instructed, but I am enjoying it. I started this like 2 days ago, and it knits super fast. Because it's for a 3 to 4 year old, not because it's like a fast stitch pattern, but I do enjoy knitting the stitch pattern, and I can knit it without looking, which I'm really happy about. But yeah, it's a drop shoulder, it's beautiful. I'm really considering making one for myself because it is so squishy. I just don't know what yarn I'd want to use for it because I don't do acrylics. I would like one that was woolly. So yeah, that's mine. It's on 4.5mm needles again. Everything's exactly the same. And then the two other sweaters that I'm going to be making are going to be cardigans. So they won't be this pattern. And I think I showed them a few episodes ago. They're just going to be basic. The oldest girl is, she's going to be 6 by the time she gets this. So she's getting a moss stitch cardigan with balloon sleeves, which is absolutely adorable. And then I think for the second twin, the 2-year-old is going to get just a stockinette one because I'm going to want just one that's not textured all the way over. So that's going to be my break part. And I think I have the other ones over there, but that one's going to be, the oldest girl is going to be in this color as well. And then the other twin is going to be in a nice gray beigey color. So that's my first work in progress. And I'm really enjoying that. I've been knitting on that when we went to St. John in New Brunswick yesterday, and I knit on that both there and back and got quite a bit of it done. And it was a really good time. We had such a fun time, and we didn't have any plan at all. We just kind of parked somewhere and then moseyed around a little bit. I did not realize how large St. John was. I've only been driven through there once, and this is the first time I actually got to stop. And we ended up running into, without planning, I never looked for anything, but we ran into 2 yarn stores and 1 sewing store. I went into all of them. It was great. And I did buy a sweater quantity of yarn in the yarn shop called Good Vibrations, and it was so delightful in there. And I'll show that in a bit. Getting sidetracked. My second work in progress is another pair of sample socks, which I have in the last few days dyed up, I think 6 new colorways that I'm sampling. I really like knitting socks, apparently. But these are my highlighter socks. I got one of them done the other day, and I've just got the second one started. And I, by rule, force myself to start the second one right away, because otherwise, and this it can be attested to the absolutely huge sack of single socks I've got from previous years. If I don't knit the second one right away, I will fill the needle with another sample sock. So I do both of them, so I have a pair. So this is the same 64 stitches, 12 stripes, heel flap and gusset. And last time I did say I was going to do a separate contrast color for the toe. I changed my mind. I don't want to dye 2 mini skeins for the set, so I'm just doing one. But that's what that one looks like. And that one's on, or the second one's on here. I've got my Chiaogus, which I really want more of. I bought a set of Chiaogu sock needles. I use the 32-inch 2.25 millimeter, but I got the ones that are, they have the bend at the needle, at the join. And as nice as that one is, I have found, I'm not sure what the difference is, but I have found those are, the texture of them on the needles isn't as pleasant. So I need to find ones that are the straight and the smoother tips. If anyone knows the difference, can you just let me know? Because I want more of them. Because I've found that knitting magic loop with the Chiaogus is incredibly... Just the difference between that and my Addies is amazing. I'm really enjoying it. So I really like to get these done soon. These will also be in the shop update with the goldenrod colorway. It won't be very much just because I feel like it's a bit summery of a color, and I'm not sure how many people are going to be wanting the summery ones, because my next update after that is going to have a lot of new autumnal colorways, which I'm very excited about. I have gone full-blown fall here in this household. It's a bit ridiculous, actually. So that is my second work in progress, and I'm really enjoying that as well. I love the rhythm of knitting socks, especially when I'm walking around anywhere, really. And we're supposed to, Jason wants to go canoeing later, so I'll probably bring a sock with me as well. All right, my third work in progress is my Elton by Joji Locatelli. And it is, honestly, if I sat down and finished this, it would take me 2 days. I could have it done over this long weekend easily. But I am to the point, dun, 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 I'm to the point of the ribbing at the bottom. I think I mentioned in the last episode, I'm going to be shortening, I've shortened the striping section of the body, and then I'm doing a longer bit of the ribbing at the bottom. So the only thing I'll have to do after the ribbing at the bottom is I need to do the collar, and then I'm going to pick up the sleeves, and I think I decided that I was going to do the sleeves all in this one color as well, just to have all of the striping be just on the body of the garment. And yeah, so I'm using 3.5 millimeter needles, and I am using my hand-dyed yarn. This is in the Evermore self-striping colorways. This isn't self-striping, but it's from my self-striping sock yarn, inspired by. And yeah, I took a picture of this and put it on my Instagram as well, and I find that these types of garments, like the really boxy ones, they don't look that good until you have a body in them because of the way that they're supposed to fall and all that stuff, so it just looks kind of weird to just hold it up. I don't know. So yeah, I've got about 2 inches left, I think, of the ribbing at the bottom, and then I will do the collar and the sleeves, and they will not take long at all, because I'm planning on doing the sleeves, I think, a bit shorter than the pattern calls for. Probably just elbow length, so like it's a drop shoulder, so it'll be like a few inches. That's dually to conserve on yarn, because I only have 50 grams left of that. And then also, I don't know, if I have enough yarn, I might expand the sleeve, but I'll decide that when I get to that point. But yeah, that's my Elton. I need to, oh, pardon me, I need to finish that soon because this sort of weather is very, very much on its way. And I think it's beautiful and a little bit spooky. So, my last and biggest knitting work in progress is my Kai Fella sweater by Knitwits and Yarns. And this, I'm going to have to say right now, this is going to be one of those things that shows up on every podcast probably till the end of the year because it is laborious. It's not difficult. It's just the fact of trying to get myself to just sit down and do it because there are so many other things I'd rather be doing than untangling mohair all the time. But I will show you what progress I have made, which is not nothing. And I'm getting my mohairs all mixed up. Move them over. So here's where I'm at now, which again isn't too bad. I told myself I would like to get 10 rows done a day, and I haven't followed that for the last 4 days, so I doubt that's going to work. So it might just be marathon days, and we'll do what we can. But as I explained in my last episode, I'm using the Kai Fella sweater as sort of a baseline. It's technically an intarsia sweater where you use worsted weight and you just change your colors to be like blocked. But in this one, I'm using the same color for each row, for the amount of rows that I need to do for the block. And then I am using mohair in each section. So I'm changing the mohair color 4 times each row, back and forth. So, and what is his name? Brendan? Oh, I can't remember. The designer of this actually commented, and he messaged me on Instagram, and he sent me a link for like the trick he used to knit his sweater so that your yarns didn't tangle and you could just knit a certain way back and they would untangle. And I basically had to explain to him that won't work for mine because it's the mohair that I'm changing and not the main yarn. And when I'm knitting across with both of them held together, the mohair, just the way that it's going around the needle, can kind of wrap itself around the main yarn, and you have to untangle it every time, and you still have to like drop and pick it up and it's not hard. Again, it's just time consuming. I hope that made sense. But yeah, I'm still really, really liking how it's working up, and I'll slowly work on it. That's the goal. Maybe my goal for next episode should be I have four rows done. That'll be my next goal. Let's see if I can actually do that. And then I need to untangle my mohair. It's bad in there right now because I've taken it in and out of the bag like 4 times and not actually worked on it. So that's why it's all tangled. And yes, this is in my like plaid collection. I dyed these yarns based on a fabric that I used. It's for I use it as the lining of a coat that I made for my boyfriend last time, and I'm going to be making project bags. And then I'm dyeing up a self striping that's based on this colorway. Hopefully it works. It's literally in the oven right now. So I am going to be dyeing a self striping, and then I would like to do the same sort of sets as I did for my Nutcracker colorway in this colorway. It probably won't be until November though, just because I have all of my fall colors that I really want to do first that I'm really excited about. I cannot wait to show you. I'm really hoping that next time I film I can have those samples started so I can show. I'm so excited. I do have a bit of future knitting though that are actually, one of them is in the sort of same realm of one of the self-striping colors that I'm going to do. This was sort of accidental, to be perfectly honest. So I had some 50 gram DK skeins just in my bare yarn shelf that I had bought for something else, never actually ended up using them, and I really wanted to make well, these colors specifically, but I'm going to be selling them as like the knitted pumpkin sets. So I'm going to have a 50 gram of a solid and then a 20 gram of like a stem color. So there's a lot of patterns that you can use to knit or crochet your own pumpkin decorations, which I love. I have a lot of them. So I've dyed up 5 different colors, which I love so much. Here they are. So I also have a self-striping in these colors. That's in the oven as well, so we'll see how that goes. But I have these 5 colors, so they're all 50 grams, and so they'll all be sold as like 70-gram sets. These are mine that I have stolen because I am very much considering knitting myself another Stella quilt cushion out of 4 of these colors. And I'm thinking of having... I was kind of thinking of dyeing myself in a 100-gram skein of this color and having this be the background and then this be the 8 colors, so they'd alternate like that. And I think that would be really nice. And then I was also thinking I could have it like be a double-sided cushion cover, instead of like one side be the star and then one side be a solid color. Have one side be this star, which is more of a like autumn, fall sort of vibe. And then have the other side be this color and a black be the alternating 8 star points. And then have this color, which I have dyed, be the background. So that you can flip the cushion around depending on whether or how close you are to Halloween. Because a 50-gram would be enough for half of the star points. Because my last Stella quilt cushion... it took about 11 or 12 grams for each color, and I used 8 different colors. So if I'm using four star points, a 50 gram should be enough. So I just have to get myself a black, which I probably have somewhere. And then, yeah, this be the background. And I have a bunch of these. I actually over-dyed. I dyed way too much of my pale mushroom color for my last update. Way too much. So I've just over-dyed a bunch of them, and then I'm going to be putting them up as, I think I've decided I'm going to do a black contrast color, because this is it's an 80-20? 75-25 merino nylon, so you can use them as socks, they're just DK. I'm going to sell them as like, you can make socks, or you can knit a pumpkin. So they won't be as expensive as they were before, but yeah, I just need to get them out of my cupboard, and I like it a lot. So yeah, I think I might do half with an orange mini skein and then half with the black. You can get either, whatever you want. But yeah, this is making me very happy because it's so beautiful. And yeah, I love making decor. I really do. My house is full of soft goods. I basically look like a craft shop. It's ridiculous. Another thing I've been working on, I've started another quilt. I actually had this started last time. I completely forgot that I had it though. But I was in the mood to make a quilt, and I have a couple just storage bins with cutout quilts. I do this a lot. I'll get the fabric, decide what quilt I want to make. I'll cut it all out, put it in a bin, and put it for later when I'm like in the mood to start a quilt, but I don't want to cut one out, which is perfect. But I had this one in a bin, and it is called the Fall Leaves Quilt. Appropriate. And I have a couple blocks here ready. This is what it looks like in the block. They're not perfect, but that's okay. Especially when it comes to like quilts like this. Once you have it finished, all put together and quilted and washed, the little mistakes that are in quilt blocks, you can't see them at all. But yeah, this is what they look like. I think there's 2 blocks of each color that I have. This was from a fat quarter set that I got from St. Andrews by the Sea 2 years ago, I think. But yeah, I got just a bunch of beautiful autumnally florals. And I think this is going to look really nice. And I don't have anything in the house that's like, quilt-wise anyway, that screams fall. I think a lot of them are a lot more either neutral or almost Christmassy, actually. But yeah, I've been enjoying this a lot. They're so fast to sew up because there's not really much to them. And I've just been doing one at a time. I used to do like chain piecing, and I just found that I get kind of lazy when I do that. And I have a tendency to make a lot more mistakes. So this way, and that way I don't have to leave like a pile of half-finished blocks. I can just make one block at a time and just come back to it whenever I want to. So yeah, I'm really excited about this. It's been in that bin, again, for 2 years. I cut it up almost immediately. It's a bit ridiculous. But I've been working on that, and I genuinely forgot that I had started it for the last week and a half, so I forgot that I had anything like that. So should probably continue doing that because I could probably quilt it myself really simply, or even hand quilt around all of these. I think that'd be kind of cool. But yeah, and then the only other thing I've got going on is, so when we went to St. John yesterday, feels like a long time ago. Like I said, we sort of stumbled into 2 yarn stores. The first one was Cricket Cove, and we used to have a Cricket Cove here. I don't like it. I've never liked any of the ones I've gone to. I've gone to 3, and I don't know what it is. Some yarn stores just aren't it, and they're for other people, so I didn't buy anything there. And then, yeah, we ran into, like, a sewing store, and I bought a pattern, like a paper pattern. They had a lot of cute stuff there. But then we walked past Good Vibrations, and I think I've heard of this place before from other people, but it was so gorgeous in there, and the 2 ladies that were working were so delightful. And I ended up buying the sweater quantity that I wanted for that white cabled sweater that I want to wear under the jacket that I made last time. I was just picturing it so clearly. Anyway, so I ended up getting 8 skeins of this West Yorkshire Spinners Fleece Blueface Leicester. And this yarn is so nice. Like you'd think something like a Blueface Leicester, even just like a non-superwash wool, would be slightly scratchy. This is so soft and so spongy almost. So yeah, I got 8 skeins. They had 8 skeins of this batch, basically, and I'm hoping it'll be enough. I think so. Jason pretty much volunteered himself to be the recipient of this sweater, which is, he's such a brat. He's so greedy. But he figures because it's his jacket, he should be able to wear this as well. So I'll probably make a larger size, because he's not a large man, but he's a little bit short, which is good. But I probably will make it so it fits him and then steal it whenever I want. I probably won't make it as long as he usually likes them, because he's basically wearing a dress sometimes, and I don't need it to be that long when I steal it. And he doesn't wear his pullovers very often. I've knit him 7 sweaters, 3 cardigans, and 4 pullovers, and he doesn't wear his pullovers as often as he does his cardigans, so there's no real need for me to cater to his tastes exactly. So I will do it to my taste, and hopefully it fits him. And if it doesn't, too bad. But I'm really excited for that. I do not know when I'm going to start that, but I'd really like to, because the yarn is so beautiful. But, and it's also a really good price point. Like this, the 8 skeins only cost a little over $200, which might seem like a lot, but it's a British yarn, and it's so delightful, and I'm hoping it lasts forever. So I felt like that was a pretty decent amount. Especially when it comes, because Jason thought it was really expensive, and I'm like, it's not. You don't know anything about yarn, you just get things gifted to you all the time. But yeah, I had to explain to him that it's not that bad. And I'm really excited. I haven't decided quite yet what pattern I'm going to use. There's a couple that I'm really looking into right now. I kind of feel, I'm not sure if I have enough yarn for like too big of a sweater, so I don't know if I'm going to find something that has, like the Eclair by Laura Penrose, something that has stockinette sleeves just to conserve on yarn a bit, or if I'm going to have to maybe find a pattern that I really like and adjust it to my own needs. Or I can always order more if I run out and hope for the best, because like it's an undyed, it shouldn't vary too much. Like the other 2 skeins they had from another batch were a tiny bit different, but like not hugely. So I don't think it'll be too much. I am rambling. Anyway, I will show you if when I start it, I might swatch for something and then decide which pattern I want to use. So that was really exciting because it was so nice in there. It was so nice in there. They were dyeing yarn at the time. It smelled. Jason was commenting on the fact that it smelled like our house because I'm always dyeing yarn. But yeah, that's been a very rambly little bit. I don't know what else I have going on to talk about. I've made a few more sets of the 50 grams of the Nutcracker colorways and 20 grams of mohair, and I'm thinking I might put those into the shop this weekend. It is Labor Day weekend this weekend, if anyone is from not North America, or United States and Canada, I don't know about Mexico. But yeah, so I might put those in the shop, and I'm thinking about doing a little bit of a destash as well, because I have some yarns that I've been meaning to destash. It's been in a box in my sewing room for like 4 months. It's time. I've got to put those in the shop. I'm sick of looking at them. But yeah, I think that's everything. I probably have things I'm going to remember right after this, but that's fine. So I hope you are all well and enjoying the change of seasons that's happening. I think a lot of people are. There's been so many videos of, people's autumn knitting plans. If I had the time, I might do that too, but I don't. So hopefully you all are well, and I will see you in my next episode with 4 rows of my Kai Fellow sweater finished. So I will see you then. Goodbye.